All right, guys, thank you for joining me again tonight, or today, rather, this morning. Sorry. Yeah, so listen, we got a lot of. Sorry about that. We got a lot of stuff to go over today, or rather, talk about. So, uh, no broadcast, no newspaper. Okay, sorry, I'm reading what JD's writing. I don't know what the newspaper comment was pertaining to. But anyway, am I still buffering? Because I don't see myself buffering on my laptop. iPad, sorry. On purpose says I'm buffering, but all right, whatever, guys. So, if I am buffering, I do apologize. We will move forward. So, and today's it's the Wednesday morning midweek report, right? So I'm gonna switch it around a little bit. Kept saying Wednesday midweek morning report. Wednesday midweek morning report. Wednesday morning midweek report. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna wind up changing around. So let's get into what the hell is going on. A Boston patient was removed off the transplant list, obviously in Boston, because he wasn't vaccinated. So essentially, if this guy has a donor that pops that matches him, he's going to be denied this heart because he is not vaccinated. I've never seen or heard anything like that, guys. And again, I mean, this guy's 31 years old. He, for whatever reason, he had a bad heart. He was put on the transplant list, and now he's being denied this organ because he's not vaccinated. This is kind of this is getting carried away. Now, again, um, this guy refuses though. Now, the recipient, the recipient's name is DJ Ferguson, right? Uh, he refuses to get the vaccine because he thinks it doesn't help, and he's just against it, like the rest of us. He's just against it. Now I could see his family members pleading with him to take it because the guy in the photo that I saw, the last photo I saw of him, he looked really sick. He looked like sorry, he looked like he needs a heart soon. But even if a heart becomes available to him, they're not going to give it to him, right? So this guy is not the first person to have been denied uh, transplant or has been taken off the transplant list. Sorry. A woman in Colorado was removed off the kidney transplant list last October because she and her donor, so the recipient and the donor, were both not vaccinated. So because both of them weren't vaccinated and she was a match for this kidney, the hospital in Colorado took her off the transplant list. Uh, Jasmine, however you say it, sorry. I don't know if he can change hospitals. I don't know how that works. I mean, I thought the transplant list was a national like registry kind of deal. So if anybody in this country popped or you matched, they would give you the transplant. But I don't know how that works, and I don't know if he has that time because transplant uh, procedures, paperwork, and all that, it's a lot of time. So I don't know if he can do that. So now, with that, guys, this lady missed out on a kidney because her donor wasn't vaccinated either. Now, UC Health, which operates a hospital and urgent care facility throughout Colorado, said this is what they said. This is the bullshit they use. The COVID vaccine was one of several measures patients need to take to give the organ the best chance of not being rejected. So now they're coming up with this bullshit mumbo jumbo and saying, well, to protect the donor, not sorry, the donor, recipient, and the organ, you need to be vaccinated to protect both. Now they're pulling this shit out of their ass. I'm like, you kidding me? So again, this lady and this guy are both missing out on organs because they're not paying it. They're not submitting to the bullshit. And again, there was also an Ohio man who was vaccinated against COVID but denied a kidney because his donor didn't receive the shot. So now The Ohio man, his name is Mike Gainine, sorry. He was vaccinated. His donor wasn't. But because he needs the organ, or rather the kidney, sorry, they're denying him the kidney because his donor is not vaccinated, nor will she get vaccinated. Insanity. Insanity that we are in this country, and now they're telling you you can't live because you don't want to get the shot. Now, there's a way of handling this situation. There's only one way of handling the situation, and that is, you guys. I don't want to say it because YouTube. I'd probably say it on Rumble, but there's only one way to handle this shit, guys, and that's you know that's above and beyond. People need to go to these doctors' homes and make them fucking listen. And when I mean make them, I mean make them. But that's in crazy shit. I've never heard anything like that. I mean, like, to be fair, in the chat, in the comment section, you people have told me about these cases that when they popped up, and I looked at it and go, that's fucking bullshit. But now it's painting a bigger picture as to what is going on and who they are actually going to essentially kill because they don't want the shot. Now, an organ transplant is not a guarantee, right? So now, anybody who receives whatever organ they get, it's not a guarantee that their body's not going to reject it. Actually, there's a high probability that their body might reject it, even with the meds. So, now you're telling this person, you are definitely going to die because you didn't take the shot. There's a problem. Anyway, with that being said, guys, the hospital went on to say the driving force behind its vaccine policy was studies showing transplant patients are more likely to die if they contract COVID-19. All right, fair enough, because their immune system is wiped out because of the surgery and the meds they're on. The mortality rate of a transplant patient who gets COVID is more than 20%. So you have a 20% chance of dying. Still not 50, still not 60%, 20% chance. And they're denying you an organ or for 20% chance of dying. You probably have that same amount of chance of dying just being a transplant recipient. And yet now they're playing to the you have to get the arm ticket to give your organ away and or receive an organ. Again, guys, this is only going to get worse. And even though the Biden administration had their last mandate blocked, the federal mandate and the 100 employer mandate, yet hospitals are still going through with this insanity. Wandering wins. Exactly. You have an 80% chance of survival, but they said they used 20% chance of mortality, of dying. Instead of just saying, and see how the media works. The media works. They move the numbers around the way they want. If you had an 80% chance of survival, why wouldn't they put that? They put a 20% chance of death instead. How they report it is fucking insane. Wandering Winds, thank you for bringing that point up. So, moving right along, vaccinated Nike employee gets fired for denying vaccination proof to a third party. Now, this guy, Mr. Briggs, his name is Dex Briggs. I don't know why you would name your kid Dex, but whatever. His name is Dex Briggs, 53 years old. He worked for Nike for 22 years, or over 22 years. He was fired because he didn't want to show his vaccine card to a third party that Nike had hired to verify your vaccination status. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, he was fired. And he was out of the headquarters in Portland, Oregon. So, of course, Portland, Oregon, super liberal city and rather state. Here's a kicker, guys. The guy is vaccinated. He has his vaccine card. He just doesn't want to show the third party. He doesn't trust them. But instead of Nike taking his card, which he gave, I think it was HR, the card to look at and be like, this is my vaccination card, they told him, no, you got to go through a third party. And if you don't show the third party, you're going to get fired. And he got fired. So now they're firing vaccinated people who refuse to show their medical information. This is how insane it's getting. Besides the organ donor crap, now you got vaccinated people being fired for not showing their vaccine card to a third party. And the fact that Nike didn't want to take that card and go, all right, we'll take this because we understand your concern. Instead of saying that, they turned around and said, fuck it, dude, you're fired. All right, so, guys, the insanity continues. Anyway, moving right along. Biden gets another mandate block for federal workers nationwide on Friday, right? So the Biden 19 arm ticket vaccination mandate for federal workers was blocked last Friday. Biden does not have the authorities to oppose such mandate, states the U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Brown, who wrote in a 20-page ruling. Now, to be fair, U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Brown also said it's not about the vaccine because they said that he thinks everyone should take it. He says it's more about the president overreaching. Like we've all said, I don't know, months ago, that the president of the United States is overreaching with this bullshit mandate. And now, here comes a district judge, U.S. district judge, saying the same thing. He goes on to say, federal law says that the president may prescribe regulations for conduct of employees in the executive branch, and government lawyers argued that the act of becoming vaccinated is plainly conduct. So he can only worry about their behavior, but not the fact that they don't want this medical procedure, or rather that they want a medical procedure. Sorry, he cannot force a medical procedure onto people. Now, I'm hoping that this ideology, right, that this judge's ruling can trickle down into the state and city levels. That's what I'm hoping, because I looked at this mandate block as a good thing for state and city workers, but we have to stand fast and see where it goes. The Supreme Court has expressly held a COVID-19 vaccine mandate is a non-employment regulation, and that means the president without stature authority is issued the federal law of work mandate. So again, the president overstepped. The Biden administration is looking to appeal the federal mandate workers, but they are not going to. Actually, they dropped it yesterday, the 100 employee mandate, right? So for every company that has over 100 employees, they wanted the employers to either mandate their workers to get vaccinated or take a weekly test. That was dropped, and then they also pulled it. So now the Biden administration is no longer considering that. They're going to try to focus on the federal workers being inoculated. But as of right now, federal workers do not have to get inoculated. Okay, that was interesting. All right, so now Biden administration scraps COVID vaccine mandate for large employees, right? We just said that. They are dropping it because they simply lost. The Supreme Court voted it down, saying that OSHA had lack of authority to impose such rules or mandates. And now it looks like Biden's just defeated. So the Biden administration is scrapping the mandate for larger employees. So that's a good thing. It's a good thing, guys, because the narrative is falling apart at the seams. I think that's awesome. If I'm still buffering, guys, I do apologize. I don't see it on my end, so it might be on yours, but I do apologize for it. I'm going to get a connection to hopefully fix the problem my next live stream here, which is always Wednesdays at home, and then my normal live streams are up by my parents because they have better internet. Anyway, the UK is dropping all their restriction and mandates. I know a lot of you heard this already. The UK is dropping their mandates and restrictions by next week, which I think it's February, right? I think February 1st, something like that. They're dropping it, or January 31st. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, they're dropping all the mask mandates all over England. Other restrictions are dropped as well, as like the COVID passport that's being dropped, social distancing that's being dropped as well. Restrictions for working from home were dropped by the government as well. So now they don't have to work from home. They do have to stay home if they test positive. That's for sure. They're leaving that in place. That's the only one that they're the only mandate that they're leaving in place. You have to work. You have to self isolate for 5 days. Now, why the sudden change of heart? Is there something else headed this way? Are they feeling the COVID overload? Is everybody else being overloaded and they're like, fuck, we can't handle this? Or are they trying to see who sticks with the mandates after this is all dropped? Meaning, they want to see how many controlled monkeys they have that are still listening to the mandates, right? Is that a possibility? Well, I'm going to answer all of those questions with a probably unequivocal no. The reason why the mandates were dropped, and here's the real reason, I'm going to get into it now. The real reason why the UK mandates were all dropped is because Boris Johnson had photos resurface of him throwing a party during the country's lockdown last year. This was probably around June or July that this party went down. Now listen, guys, it was a party. It wasn't a hooker party. It wasn't a coke party. It was just a regular party. And there's a picture of him sitting around people, not wearing a mask, not social distancing, when he told the rest of the country they had to. So this photo comes out, and now they're like, and he's like, oh shit. Now the photo came out back in December, and Boris Johnson did address it a couple weeks later, midweek of December somewhere. And I think in January, this month, about a week or two ago, he announced that they're ending all the, actually last week, he announced that they're ending all the mandates because he got caught with his pants down. Right? Now, again, it's just a simple picture, guys. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just him sitting there with a bunch of people standing around. That was it. But the hypocrisy of him hanging out with his friends, partying while everybody else is on lockdown, while you're telling people they can't have X amount of people over. They have to wear masks. They have to have a digital passport to enjoy their social freedoms. This guy's enjoying his social freedoms. So with that, he looked like an asshole after it got, and he apologized, and his apology seemed, I wouldn't say seemed genuine, because it was sort of like he got caught and he was like, well, fuck, how do I fix this? We'll knock all the mandates. We'll drop everything. And now he dropped everything. And when he's giving the speech on dropping all of the mandates, I found it interesting that the people, I guess it was the parliament, they were sitting there cheering on. Yes, all right, yeah, yeah. And we're talking about the other politicians sitting behind him as well. There were people in the audience carrying on, saying, yes, yeah, cheering on every time he made an announcement. But you had politicians. So it looked like everybody was on board as soon as he announced this. Now, there was some kickback. There was some people saying, oh, fuck that. We shouldn't do it. But the other reason why Boris Johnson was doing this is that he's up for re-election. So now that picture came out, damaged his credibility, damaged his future elections. He drops the mandates to make himself look bigger again until something else comes down the pipe and they have to go back in restrictions. Right? But again, guys, well, Johnny, I don't think he's a puppet. I think he just got caught and now he's like, shit, fuck, piss. I got caught. I think that's what wind up initially happening. And I mean, yes, listen, a lot of those politicians are puppets, yes. But I think in this case, he actually got caught and he was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Well, this is what you're going to do. You're going to end all the fucking, all the mandates. And then you look like a rock star, right? Alt Newser, is it true that there are subs in the Long Island Sound? I think there's an abandoned sub, like a crash sub in the Long Island Sound. I don't think there's an actual sub in the Long Island Sound. I know the Navy from time to time does do drills, but I don't know that for sure. I just know that there's wrecked ships and shit in the Long Island Sound, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I know that there was a guy in my firehouse who used to go scuba diving, and he was scuba diving in one of those wrecked ships, but I'm not sure if that was Long Island Sound or not. But you would have to ask somebody, I guess, in the Coast Guard or something that would know that answer definitely. Robert Briggs, the monkeys in the PA, the monkeys that were released in the PA. I was just waiting for another movie called fucking, what was that, Outbreak Part 2. I was just waiting for that to happen. But they caught all the monkeys. They were test subjects, but they didn't have, according to the media, there was nothing on board in the monkeys. They were tests for monkeys for CDC, but they were clean, if you will. Who knows if they were clean or not? Listen, I would like to think that the CDC was moving these monkeys, if they weren't clean, that they have them in something a little more substantial that they couldn't break out of, even if the truck crashed, right? But again, I think the monkeys are I don't even think they're a distraction. I just think it was one of those things. I mean, listen, in the cities, right, and you guys hear it all over the country, there's always some kind of animal spillover, right? Chickens on the fucking highway, horses and cows getting loose out of their what you call it, so it happens, you know? It just so happens with monkeys, people like the antennas go up because you're thinking outbreak, contagion, you're thinking of those movies, you know? You're like, a fucking monkey's gonna release a new pandemic. So no, I don't think it's that serious. I really don't. I just think it is what it is. Some things, guys, is just what it is. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just it was a truck that spilt over and monkeys came out of it. That's all. I don't think it's anything other than that. Howling Sarge, yes. DC rationing. The mayor was calling for voluntary DC rationing. Sorry, where he was asking the public, please buy what you need and don't hoard. Starting to throw that word out there a little more, the hoarding word, just because they want to start focusing on us down the line, should they need to. Now, right now, they don't need to focus on us preppers or us people who are preparing for this. But sooner or later, they're going to start focusing on us and calling us hoarders and not preppers anymore. Right? It's just like anything in the world, guys. We are kooks, crazies, and knuckleheads for preparing for disasters. But as soon as that disaster meets them at their doorstep, they're gonna look at us and go, "Them niggas right there, they're hoarders. Get them," and that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna use us as a means to not lock us down, but take our shit. Good luck with some of the fucking preppers out there. You go fucking visit their homestead or their piece of land and say we're confiscating your. Okay, it's not gonna end well. It's not gonna end the way you think, but whatever. That's the whole idea with prepping, guys, right? It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's the whole ideology behind prepping, you know? Yeah, so anyway, guys, it's interesting that, and it's also interesting that there are a lot of celebrities that are starting to buy us Doomsday Home. Post Malone. I heard about Post Malone a couple months ago, but a new article surfaced about him yesterday buying an apocalyptic doomsday shelter with his home. I think he has like a bunker underneath his home or some shit, and it's fully stocked. And I'm like, and then I think Kim Kardashian, she did the same thing. So, guys, it's catching on. People are definitely looking at this shit going, wow, this is getting crazy. Maybe we should. Maybe they're watching YouTube channels secretly, and they're like, man, this guy's saying that this could happen. We need to definitely, and so a lot of celebrities are definitely getting into prepping, which is, I guess, a good thing. I don't know. I mean, I can care less if these motherfuckers are ready for it. If they're gone, they're gone. They're not they're not a drag on society, but they're not needed. In the world, if the world starts anew, because the bottom dropped out, celebrity is the last thing you're going to be looking for. You're not going to be looking for Kim Kardashian or Post Malone to help you out in a post-apocalyptic world. They're all for nothing. What is fucking Post Malone going to dance his way to my fucking, to my heart and have me give him his preps? No. Is fucking Kim Kardashian going to start twerking? No. So they are non-essentials in the post-apocalyptic world, where rather the rest of us who have some kind of skill, we are going to contribute to that continuity of society, if that makes any sense. Right? But anyway, people are waking up. Les Lynn, people are waking up, but they are waking up very, very slowly. Right? I mean, I don't think anybody. Um, sorry, I was just reading what the Howling Sarge was writing. Highly respect your balls to the walls content. Thank you for that. Um, my dog ate my vaccination card. Nice one, Prepper 101. Yeah, right? My dog, he ate it. I'm sorry. I am vaccinated and I identify with being vaccinated. That should start working next too, because hell, why not, right? We could pretend to be the opposite sex. Some people are pretending to be trees now, right? Some people like, I want my pronoun to be tree. That's what? How the fuck do you tell somebody? So, Everybody is playing this game of what they want to be identified as. I think a lot of us should start saying we identify as vaccinated. And in reality, we are. We all got some kind of vaccine throughout our life. Well, check out Prepper Nation. It's a community. Somebody brought up Prepper Nation. It's a community and Grim Survival. Why did you guys bring that up? Church, a piece of shit. Congrats and enjoy. All right, whatever. It is what it is. Non-binary prepper. Yes, Alexandra. Exactly right. I identify myself as a vaccinated, non-binary prepper human tree. Yeah, whatever. Listen, guys. The labeling that the internet is allowing psych patients to be whatever they want to be. And people are like, well, as long as it doesn't hurt us, well, it is hurting us. If these people are forcing their ideology on us, that is hurting us. That is hurting our mentality, if you will, or our psyche, right? We have people playing the opposite sex, and you'll look at, like, listen, there's some transgenders out there, you look at them, and you're just like, all right, whatever. And then there are others out there who decide they want to grow a beard and still wear a dress. But then they identify with themselves as a non-binary female, which I don't get because I thought that's what non-binary meant. I can't keep up with this shit. I know a lot of you guys can't keep up with this shit. But nonetheless, guys, these people out here, we, society, are allowing these people to fucking try to indoctrinate us and kids with their bullshit. Right? There's a non-binary teacher. She was on TikTok and she's in there talking to her classmates, saying, "Oh, guys, well today, what's my pronouns?" And the class in unison goes, "They, us, and them." And then they go, then she goes, "Do you respect my pronouns?" And listen, guys, these are like little kids. They're like in the first or second grade. They're like dancing monkeys. They don't know any better. So when she asked them, "Hey, do you agree with my pronoun?" Of course they're gonna say yes. You think an 8 or 9 year old's gonna stand up and go no and walk out of the classroom? No. So they are, again, these non-binary teacher guys. They're going after the younger grades, and you guys as parents have to be aware of that. They're going to kindergarten, first and second grade to indoctrinate these kids. Right? They're looking at it. They're like, "Oh, we can get these kids by spreading our non-gender bullshit," because it's all bullshit, guys, all of it. Right? You're either a man or woman. That's it. There's no discrepancy. There's, if you die tomorrow, if you're transgender and you die in a car accident and you're pretending to be a guy, you're a chick pretending to be a guy, they're gonna pull you out of that burning car and identify you as a female. And then when your friends say, "Well, no, that's not a female. She is really a guy, and her name is Harold or whatever the fucking name is." Then they're gonna reclassify the death certificate to say male. But meanwhile, the guy looked at it and go, "It's a male." You know. So, guys, they try to play this game, and yes, Gene. They also sit there and go, "Well, I like to be referred to as they, we, and us." I'm like, are you a fucking psych patient? How many people are in there with you? Right? And again, we allow them to do this. Instead of just shutting them the fuck down and breaking their balls and fucking berating them, which, some people say is childish, but whatever, we're allowing these people to sit there and tell us how to think. We're allowing these people to tell us that if you don't agree with my make believe sexuality or my make believe gender, then you're a bigot and all this other bullshit. We're allowing these people to do this. This is on us. This is not on the state. This is not on the city. This is on us. We need to be fighting back at every chance we can get. If we see one of these assholes in the school, we gotta fucking destroy them. Destroy them. Right? If we see these people fucking trying to indoctrinate kids, like for example, shit, let me see if I can find the article. My wife was reading this article and she got pissed off about this. It was a kid whose teachers were convincing the kid. So it was two teachers convincing the kid that the kid was transgender. First, they went through the steps of the kid being gay or bisexual, sorry. Then the kid being gay, and then they were trying to convince the kid that the kid was transgender, teaching the kid how to tape her breast down or some shit. And I'm like, and this again, if I was a parent, I'd be at the teachers' homes with a baseball bat. That's all I'm gonna say about it, right? It was a very shitty thing for those teachers to do. But again, these teachers are going after the kids, guys. They're going after the kids at a younger age because a kid is going to sit in that classroom and go, "Yes, I agree with your pronouns." Because listen, guys, for the better part of it, kids don't know any better, right? Kids are fucking still eating glue and licking fucking the walls. They don't know any better, so of course they're gonna fucking agree with this teacher, right? But guys, it's it's bad. And well, I'll talk about this in the next Wednesday midweek morning report. Um, but yeah, it's getting crazy out there, guys. Shit's getting fucking out of control, right? And yeah, Neil Young and his bullshit. I don't even know why he made that ultimatum. Like, hey, me or Joe Rogan. If I was Spotify, I'm like, see you later, old man. Take your fucking Geritol and hit the rocks, right? And kick rocks. That's what I would do. That's me. But whatever. Anyway, guys, we are at the half hour mark. You know how this goes. This show runs for a half hour. I try not to have it go over. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me this morning. Sorry. I will have another live stream either tomorrow night or Friday night. It's probably going to be Friday night for sure. And then I'll see you guys in the next few videos. But again, guys, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for, again, keeping me company. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Thank you.